luminous beings only, not this crude matter. You must feel the force around you. I am an idiot.
Well, 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 look what's arrived. You were a fool, Paladin, an utter fool, to think that your saber could arrive here and I would just return it to you without a price to be paid. Well, guess what? It is time for you to pay the price for your war profiteering for the Empire. Now, what shall we ask for? Number one, your citadel shall become my citadel and part of my forces. Number two, we will immediately relinquish your power with the Empire. Yes, again, to me. And then, only then, perhaps, I might see fit to send you the ultimate lightsaber that you foolishly entrusted to me. You want it, don't you?
Hello, my friends. It's been a hot minute since the last time I did a video, so I'm probably going to be a little bit out of practice. Since I saw you last, it's been about a fortnight. I've been sick. I've had the flu. I've had COVID. I've had a head cold. Probably a few other things that I'm not sure about. But I've still been on the hunt for sabers. I found someone on Facebook who has been selling kind of a small hoard of beat up old Saberforge hilts. And this one's the Aeon Mark 1. Perhaps you've seen the Aeon Mark 3 for sale in both Saberforge's Etsy store and on their regular website. And that thing is a beauty. I would like to buy one someday. But I've been buying these older hilts. It's kind of a thing I like to do. I like to find the older discontinued Saberforge hilts and add them to my collection. This thing measures in at 12 and 5/8 inches, and it has a blade depth of about 4.5 inches or so, give or take. And it's running one of the older Sabercore Viridian sound fonts, just a single sound font with blaster deflect. You can see it has a kill key and a backlit switch. The kill key is a little bit difficult to get out of that hole there. There's not much room to work with, so you have to kind of really work it out. But the one thing I can say about this hilt is that it is very, very loud. One of the reasons that's loud is it has these side vents. I'm always a big fan of side vents. And I really like this pommel. It's very simple. It has a pommel insert. I have not been able to get the pommel off of the hilt. It's on there pretty tight. But everything's working as it should be. And I usually run this. It has the soundboard runs 3 volumes. It has mute, low, and high. And I run it on low volume just because, well, low volume is quite sufficient. All right. So, let's see. Yeah, really get in there to get this thing out. I'm not sure if I can. There we go. I try not to insert it in all the way, but it just kind of ends up getting inserted all the way. But that came out wrong. Ooh, I didn't mean that. Anyway, so recharge port, and as you can see, orange backlit switch, because this has orange LEDs. And with this saber, you push down, hold it.
Main menu. Select optical frequency 1.
Now, the interesting thing about this particular hilt with this Saber Core Viridian is that when you select the I guess you could call it a pulse or whatever, usually it's kind of just a, I don't know, it's just a burp, 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 and usually until you get to the 5th setting, it has 5 settings. That's the only one that actually looks like something, but for some reason with this one,
2.
1 is, you know, just your normal solid blade. 2 gives you a bit of a pulse, which is actually quite nice.
3.
I like 3, gives it kind of a bit of an unstable effect. This has been my go-to setting. I really like this one.
4.
And then 4 starts getting into seizure territory.
5.
And 5 is, again, it's kind of seizure territory, but you can't really see the pulse, so there's kind of no point to it. Of course, the camera's probably picking this up as a pulse. Hopefully it's still recording. Yeah, anyway, I'll just keep going.
1, 2, 3.
So I'll set it to 3. And to lock it in, you hold the button.
Select sound intensity low.
So you have low,
High.
high,
Muted.
muted.
Low.
I'm going to keep it on low, as described in the rest of the video.
Select impact sensitivity 1.
So the impact is super sensitive. So I usually keep this on either 1 or 2. 1 will give you the ability to actually do blade on blade impact, but when you're swinging the saber around, anything higher than 1, it's just going to trigger it's just going to trigger the clash, and no, there's no point to that. So I'll just do 1.
Select motion sensitivity 1,
And I usually keep this around 4.
2, 3, 4. All settings saved.
And that's pretty much it for the settings. And as I stated, I tend to hold this like that. That's the most comfortable place to hold it. This is really ideal since this is an elite class saber to be held with 2 hands. So you can hear the clashes just from swinging. They're really sensitive. Yeah. Blast would deflect. And there are the windows. The orange is really nice. It's more of an amber, not really orange. I don't know if you can even tell. Probably best to just focus on the windows. But not too bad at all. For the price that I paid for this thing, so you can't really get the clash to work with actually clashing anything. As I said, very loud. Side venting. Very loud from the side. It's a really, really nice hilt. I've grown quite fond of this thing. I actually just use this as a stunt saber. Most of the time I just turn the sound completely off and I'll just practice with it. It's not too heavy. I don't have a way to weigh it. I don't have a scale. Perhaps I should get one. I think I mentioned that previously in other videos. Possibly not. I don't know. But yeah, really comfortable with this choke point, as stated. Very well balanced. Yeah, I mean, for the price I paid for it, pretty neat. And one of these days, like I said, I'd like to get the Mark III, so I have something to compare this to. That'll probably be a couple months down the line once I get a little bit of money saved up. Or get a tax return. Yeah, that'd be nice, a tax return. That's coming up pretty shortly, I guess. A few months. Anyway, so that's it for the Aeon Mark I Elite hilt from Saberforge, which they don't make anymore. They make the Mark II, and and the Mark III concurrently. The Mark I, near as I can tell, the only difference is the switch section isn't here. It's in the choke point, which I don't really like. So that means that the choke point's probably a little bit wider. And they anodize the section in here in black, and the pommels in black, and maybe a few other areas of the hilt are picked out. But for the most part, it looks almost identical to this. So a Mark I or Mark II, if you find either of them in the wild, I would recommend picking one up. It's a really spectacular little hilt.
Gray Paladin. He broke into the vaults in my sanctuary. 15 miles underground, security systems everywhere. Droids, laser traps. I even had a Rancor down there protecting that saber. And he just took it right from under my nose. I am going to get my revenge on him someday. He will never see it coming, but it will be very, very revengeful. This is my vexed face. All right, well, until next time.